to go. Now we're live. The Daily Purge, right? Well, it's been 3 days. Yes, the first day was a Facebook mess up. In the last 2 days, well, I didn't get to it. Not because I was busy, because it just didn't happen. How's that sound? Sometimes you just got to roll with punches, right? So let's share this around real quick. Today I want to talk about say what you say from who you are, not from what you want. Oh, that sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It's not simple. Because of the outside influences, of course, we all know that a lot of times when we answer questions, when we speak about what it is that we want to talk about, we take into account what we think others will how others will it will affect other people. How do they want to listen? Do they want to hear this way or that way? What do people expect of me? Do I sound good? Maybe we have a low self-esteem, and we want to make sure that people see us for who we think we are instead of just being who we are. Sissy, please. And so there's a lot of ways that we can look at this. And I think a lot of times we're not true to who we are. And so that's what I'm saying is when you communicate, hey, Olga, when you communicate from who you are, that means you're just saying what you're saying. And you're saying what you're saying from a place of certainty. And the certainty comes from knowing who you are as far as identity goes. If you don't know who you are and you're out there and you're speaking to somebody, hey, Israel, if you're out there speaking to somebody, let's say, for instance, you're in a group training, right? Excuse me. You're in a group training. Everybody's supposed to introduce themselves. And now you have a chance to introduce yourself. Hello, amigo. How you doing, brother? If you're out there trying to introduce, or you're going to introduce yourself, how do you introduce yourself? Do you introduce yourself as someone that's going to highlight your accolades because you want them to know what you do so that you could benefit from what it is that maybe that they need, right? Or do you just say, look, I'm Steven. This is what I do. I'm here to serve, whatever, right? Why do you say the things you say, and why do you say it in the way that you say those things you say? It's very disingenuous, but it's very normal. That's the problem. Is that most people just talk and fulfill what they think. Hey, Enrique, how you doing, brother? They just talk and try to fulfill the needs of the other person as far as what they think that they need to hear or should hear or want to hear. As an example, I was on a TV show one time in Germany. And there was 15, 20 million people were live. And I was asked a question, Mr. Kuhn, do you support this war? And I was like, man, and my head was going like, I'm in Germany, I'm an American. The Germans, I know they're against the war. The Americans are for the war. This was back. Hey, Paul, how you doing, brother? This was before. This was on the day the war started in 2003 in Iraq. And I was like, man, the Americans are for it. The Germans are against it. I'm American, living in Germany. What should I say? And I'm thinking to myself in milliseconds as they're asking me this question on live TV. And then I said, wait a second. I'm just going to say what I feel. And then and when it comes from a place of conviction and certainty, it will be accepted. And I did. I said, I'm a patriot. I'm pro-American, but I'm against this war. First time I had ever said that. It was like sweat dripping down my face. But you know what? It freed me up. It freed me. It released me from wondering, how am I supposed to say what I'm supposed to say to fit the situation I'm in or the people that are listening? Well, it doesn't freaking matter. Because when you say it from a place of conviction and certainty, it will always be delivered in the proper way. Because it's not what you say that delivers the message. It's the frequency and the energy behind what you say that delivers the impact of the message. Now, take that into account next time you're talking to somebody. Are you sure of what you're saying? Are you certain that what you're saying is actually the case? Or are you just saying it because that's what you want to make yourself look good, or the project look good, or the things look good? Or are you actually saying what is the case, right? Yo, bro, are you actually saying what the deal is from a place of certainty and conviction? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's so key. And people, like I say, one of the things that I did a session today on Clubhouse, and it was an hour session, and I almost needed the entire session. It was about goal setting. And I took a session out of Elaine in my goal setting course, right? And man, they loved it. And the one comment I always get is, man, when you say something, hey, Jonit, how are you? Great to see you. The one comment I always get from people when I do a presentation or talk or answer questions in a longer period or an interview is they say, man, you don't have any filler words. You just what you're talking about. And they feel it. And they think it's because they don't hear any filler words and because I speak directly, but it's actually the conviction and the certainty in my inner self that carries through that what I speak about. And then they say, wow, he is certain. Like, I don't know something about what he says. I just believe him. That's just the way it is. And they believe that because I believe that. So when you're presenting your company, talking to somebody, presenting a deal, buying something, whatever it is that you're doing, always remember, are you certain and do you have conviction of that which you are saying? And can you embody that certainty and that conviction in your voice, in your tonality, in your inflection when you're discussing or talking or communicating whatever it is that you're communicating? Because that will make a huge difference. And that's why, people get trained on this stuff. Fortunately, I'm more of a intuitional person, so I just happen to come up with it somehow. So if you do, they will. Exactly. That's right. Thanks, Brian. So there's a lot going on out there, right? There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people talking. There's a lot of noise out there. Be the one that's certain and has conviction of what they're saying. Say less than the others, but say it with that power of certainty. And I'll tell you what, you're going to fly. You are going to fly. And that's the little bit of tidbit of information my daughter and I wanted to give you today, right? Yeah, right? Yeah. And so now we'd like to wish you a wonderful, wonderful evening. I hope you're doing fantastic. And we're going to Austria tomorrow. Hey.
I'm not going.
Okay. We'll see. Okay, so okay, everyone, have a fantastic one. And remember, it's all about
Quality of life.
quality of life. See you tomorrow. That was cute.